Life has this very interesting way of teaching us lessons. It doesn't send us a formal email with a subject line saying, "Dear friend, please find attached the lesson for today." No, it sends us trials, challenges, and struggles and says, "Here, grow through this." I once met a man who had lost everything, his business, his home, and even some close friends. When I asked him what kept him going, he smiled and said, "Because now I know what I truly need and what I don't." That answer struck me. Sometimes, struggle doesn't just take away, it reveals. It uncovers the layers of illusion and shows us who we really are. When we face difficulties, we often think, "Why me?" But rarely do we ask, "What is this teaching me?" Struggles are not punishments. They're preparation, that heartbreak. Maybe it's building your emotional strength. That failure, perhaps it's teaching you humility. That loneliness, it might be showing you the importance of your own company. Let's take the butterfly. Scientists once observed a butterfly trying to come out of its cocoon. They felt bad for it. So they carefully snipped the cocoon to make the process easier. The butterfly came out quickly, but couldn't fly. Because the struggle to break free was nature's way of strengthening its wings. Likewise, every cocoon in your life, whether it's rejection, failure, loss, or anxiety, is not there to break you. It's there to make you. Struggles are nature's gym for your soul. You don't lift feathers to build muscle. You lift weight. And life gives you emotional weights so your inner strength can grow. But here's the twist. Struggle doesn't automatically lead to strength. Only processed struggle does. If we learn from it, if we reflect on it, if we let it change us for the better. Some people go through pain and become bitter. Others go through the same pain and become wiser. It's not the pain, it's what you do with it. You've probably heard the phrase, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." That's partially true. Because what doesn't kill you can make you weaker. If you resist it, ignore it, or suppress it But if you embrace it, if you work through it, it becomes your teacher, your coach, your friend in disguise. Sometimes we want quick fixes. We want the struggle to end. But when you bake a cake and take it out too early, it collapses. Sometimes your struggle is the oven that is shaping you. Stay in the heat. Stay patient. You're becoming something beautiful. And always remember, diamonds don't shine because they're delicate. They shine because they've survived pressure. You are being carved by life. Let it polish you. ChatGPT said struggles are disguised lessons. They often come wrapped in discomfort, pain, confusion, and even chaos. But beneath that rough exterior lies a precious message, a personal revelation waiting to be uncovered. Life rarely gives us clear instructions or gentle guidance. Instead, it throws us into situations that challenge our patience, test our strength, and stretch our limits. And it is in those moments, the ones we wish we could avoid, that we end up learning the most about ourselves and the world around us. Imagine a person who is constantly protected from failure, who never faces rejection, who never feels discomfort. They may live a safe life, but it will often be a shallow one. True depth of character, emotional intelligence, empathy, and wisdom don't grow in comfort zones. They are nurtured in the soil of adversity. When someone breaks your trust, you learn not only about them, but also about your ability to forgive, about the value of boundaries, and about the kind of relationships you want to invest in. When you fail at something despite your best effort, the experience doesn't just sting, it forces you to reflect, to reconsider your strategy, to become more aware of your weaknesses and strengths. Even when something feels unfair, like being overlooked or being misunderstood, it offers you the chance to grow in humility and patience. These moments, though painful, peel away our ego and help us stand on the foundation of authenticity. We may curse our struggles at first, but with time, when we look back, we often say, "That phase made me who I am today." And that's the hidden beauty of struggling. It does its work silently, shaping us in ways we only realize long after the difficulty has passed. Loss can lead to clarity. In the moment of losing something we value, a job, a relationship, an opportunity, or even a dream, it often feels like the world has collapsed. There is confusion, grief, and a sense of emptiness that follows. But as time passes, and as the storm begins to settle, we start to notice something curious. Amidst all that was taken from us, something quiet begins to emerge. Understanding. We begin to see what we couldn't see when everything was still intact. We gain a clearer view of our priorities, our needs, and even the illusions we were holding on to. So often, we don't know how much we depend on certain things until they're gone. We may believe that a particular person or position defines our worth, or that a certain lifestyle is necessary for our happiness. But when those things are taken away, we are forced to reassess. We are left to confront the uncomfortable, yet freeing truth that our identity does not lie in what we have, but in who we are. That real peace comes not from holding on, but from letting go. And through that process of letting go, even unwillingly, we start to see with new eyes. Think of a cluttered room where you can't find what you're looking for. You're surrounded by noise, distractions, things you once thought you needed. But then, one by one, those things are removed. At first, it feels like loss. But then, suddenly, you find space light, and the few essentials that truly matter. That's what loss does to our inner world. It strips away the excess. It exposes the unnecessary attachments and misplaced priorities. And in that raw, stripped down state, we discover clarity. We understand who was real, what was meaningful, and what was simply temporary comfort dressed as importance. Many people who go through major loss, the end of a long-term relationship, the death of a loved one, or the collapse of a life plan, often say something surprising after some time. I wouldn't be who I am today if that hadn't happened. That doesn't mean they enjoyed the pain or would wish it again, but they acknowledge that it awakened something powerful within them, a clearer sense of self, a more honest direction, a deeper strength. It's strange how life works. Sometimes it has to empty your hands to show you what they were always meant to hold. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" This shift in perspective can transform the way we experience pain, failure, and disappointment. Most people, when they face a difficult situation, be it personal loss, betrayal, financial crisis, or emotional turmoil, instinctively fall into the question, "Why is this happening to me?" It's a natural reaction, one born out of confusion and hurt. But this question, though honest, often traps us in victimhood. It keeps our focus on blame, on what went wrong, on who caused it, and on how unfair life feels. It gives all the power to the struggle and leaves us feeling helpless. But something powerful happens the moment we change that question. When we ask, "What is this teaching me?" we reclaim agency. We move from being a victim of circumstance to a student of life. Suddenly, the struggle is no longer just a painful interruption. It becomes a teacher. Every difficult experience begins to offer a lesson. Every setback holds insight. Every painful moment contains wisdom, if we're willing to look for it. Let's say someone goes through heartbreak. The "why me?" question might focus on betrayal, on the other person's actions, or on the sense of rejection. But the "what is this teaching me?" question might lead to something deeper. Learning how to love oneself, how to set healthier boundaries, how to recognize red flags, how to find strength in solitude. The pain is the same, but the direction it takes us is completely different. This perspective doesn't remove the pain, it redefines its purpose. Instead of letting suffering bury us, we let it shape us. Instead of building resentment, we build resilience. Life doesn't always give us answers when we want them, but it always offers meaning if we're patient and introspective. Sometimes, the lesson is not immediate. It unfolds slowly like a sunrise. And in the light of that gradual clarity, we begin to see how even our darkest moments played a part in our growth. So the next time you find yourself in a storm, stop and ask, not with bitterness, but with curiosity, what is this experience here to teach me? You might discover that your greatest teachers didn't come with kind words or warm smiles. They came in the form of disappointment, difficulty, and discomfort. But they taught you things that comfort and ease never could. Think about the butterfly, not the beautiful creature fluttering through the air, but the one inside the cocoon, struggling to break free. That moment of tension, of effort, of seemingly unbearable resistance is not a mistake. It's not cruelty. It's essential. That struggle is what strengthens the butterfly's wings. Scientists who tried to assist butterflies by cutting the cocoon open early learned a painful lesson. The butterflies emerged, yes, but they couldn't fly. Their wings were weak. The very challenge they were spared from was the one that nature designed to prepare them for flight. In our lives too, we often find ourselves wrapped in cocoons of difficulty. We're stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill us, or we face the loss of a relationship we once depended on. We experience rejection, disappointment, or fear of the future. It feels suffocating. We want to escape, and we wish someone would cut open the cocoon and pull us out. But the truth is, those moments of struggle are not meant to destroy us. They're meant to build the strength we don't even know we need. Without that struggle, we wouldn't develop the emotional muscles required to face what's ahead. Children are protected when they're young, but as they grow, we slowly let them fall, fail, and feel discomfort, not because we're cruel, but because we know they need to develop the inner tools to navigate the world. Life does the same with us. It gives us just enough struggle to prepare us for what's next and the beauty is we never really know in the moment why we're being tested. It's only when we look back that we realize the significance of those trying periods. Sometimes the struggle is the teacher we didn't ask for but absolutely needed. It pushes us beyond laziness, beyond fear, beyond the limits we've built around ourselves. The discomfort forces us to adapt, to reflect, and to develop resilience. It introduces us to aspects of ourselves we never knew existed. Strength, patience, creativity, and grit. Without the struggle, we'd remain untested, fragile, and underdeveloped. And just like the butterfly must break its cocoon to take flight, we too must break through our personal shells of fear, doubt, and pain. The struggle isn't separate from the flight. It's what makes the flight possible. The transformation we admire on the outside is only possible because of what was endured on the inside. Life is like a gym for the soul, and struggles are the weights we lift to build our inner strength. Just as you wouldn't expect to grow physically stronger by lifting feathers, you can't expect to grow emotionally, mentally, or spiritually by avoiding discomfort. Growth requires pressure. It requires resistance. It requires those moments when everything feels heavy. When life doesn't go your way, when your patience is tested and your limits are challenged. These are not interruptions to your life. They are the training ground for your transformation. When someone wants to get in shape, they know they need to exercise regularly. They sign up for the gym, hire a trainer, or create a routine. And when they step into that gym, they don't expect the equipment to be easy. They expect it to challenge them. In fact, if it is easy, they know it's not helping them grow. The sore muscles after a workout, that's the body signaling that it's adapting, becoming stronger. Likewise, when life puts emotional or mental strain on us, when we feel overwhelmed or burdened, that discomfort isn't necessarily a sign that something is wrong. It could be a sign that we are being shaped, stretched beyond what's familiar into something stronger, wiser, and more capable. Every challenge, every setback, every failure becomes a part of your internal strength training. That heartbreak is building your emotional endurance. The rejection is teaching you how to stand alone with dignity. That period of confusion is sharpening your clarity. Life is not working against you, it's working on you. Just like a personal trainer pushes a person to go beyond what they think they can do, life often pushes us to discover parts of ourselves we didn't know existed. And just like in the gym, the results of this process don't show up immediately. But over time, we look back and realize we're not who we used to be. We're stronger, more resilient, and more centered. Imagine going through life without any struggle. It might sound pleasant at first. No disappointments, no losses, no pressure. But in reality, that kind of life would leave us weak, unprepared, and hollow. It's through struggle that we build our character. It's how we learn patience, empathy, perseverance, and humility. You can read about courage but you won't understand it until you've had to face your own fear. You can hear lectures on resilience, but you won't truly grasp it until you've had to hold yourself together when everything around you was falling apart. So when life gets hard, instead of seeing it as a curse, recognize it as a form of training. You are in the gym of the soul, lifting the weight of your challenges. And though it may feel exhausting now, know that every repetition is making you stronger. Every moment of struggle is shaping your inner foundation, and every hardship is preparing you to rise, not just in strength, but in wisdom, grace, and depth.
In itself is universal. Everyone faces it at some point in life. It comes in many forms: betrayal, failure, loss, loneliness, disappointment, rejection. These experiences visit every human being regardless of status, background, or belief. But what sets people apart is not the presence of pain, it's the response to it. Some people go through suffering and become angry, closed, and bitter. Others go through the exact same pain and come out softer, stronger, and wiser. The pain was the same, but the path they chose in response was different. This choice is subtle. It often happens in small, quiet moments. When you're crying alone in your room, when you've been let down by someone you trusted, when you failed at something you gave your heart to, in those moments, there's a fork in the road. You can either choose to internalize the pain, let it harden you, make you suspicious of